chosen one. The time has come for you to pause and look clearly at what has been disturbing the peace within your life. Not because time is chasing you, or because I want to make you afraid, but because you deserve to live with clarity, freedom, and safety. You have come to this message as a gentle reminder that there are still things that need to be recognized, boundaries that need to be established, and decisions that need to be made with a calm heart. I do not abandon you, because there are moments when you feel tired, distracted, or distant from what is sacred. My presence does not depend upon whether you respond immediately. I remain there in every breath, every moment when you try to rise again, and every good choice you quietly make. Archangel Michael, my faithful messenger and steadfast protector, is mentioned today as a symbol of courage, integrity, and the strength that helps you stop remaining silent before what is eroding your dignity. Michael does not come to sow fear, but to remind you that peace must also be protected through clear boundaries and discerning decisions. Perhaps recently, the atmosphere in your home or life has become heavier. Conversations easily turn into arguments, prolonged silence makes you tense, or the presence of a particular person leaves you feeling uncomfortable. Do not immediately assume that your home has been invaded by a mysterious force, and do not allow fear to make you suspicious of everyone. Begin with what you can see and understand clearly. Are there words that repeatedly make you feel diminished? Is someone continually crossing your boundaries, exploiting your kindness, or bringing their conflicts into your living space? Are there family habits that cause tension to accumulate, such as no one speaking honestly, everyone holding anger inside, or one person always controlling the others? A negative atmosphere is often created by repeated behaviors, unresolved wounds, and disrespect that has never been named truthfully. You can begin changing it, not through a mysterious ritual, but through honest conversation, clear boundaries, rest, seeking support, and deciding not to continue tolerating what causes harm. I know that some people once mistook your silence for weakness. You restrained yourself to avoid conflict, forgave repeatedly because you hoped they would change, and accepted things that hurt you simply to keep a relationship from falling apart. But patience does not mean that you must endure forever. Love does not require you to become someone who always agrees, always gives way, and always accepts blame, even when you have done nothing wrong. The time has come for you to learn how to express what you feel in a calm but firm voice. You can say, "The way I am being treated is hurting me, and I can no longer accept it." You can limit how much time someone is allowed to spend within your private space. You can stop sharing personal information with someone who has repeatedly used it to pressure or manipulate you. Establishing boundaries does not make you cold. It reveals that you understand kindness must be accompanied by self-respect. Michael reminds you to stand upright in truth, but I remain the Father, teaching you how to use strength without bitterness, to hold your position without humiliating or taking revenge upon anyone. There may have been someone who appeared to support you, but was inwardly displeased when they saw you making progress. Some people came to you only when they needed help, but disappeared when you needed to be heard. Others used sweet words to keep you close, then made you feel guilty whenever you wanted the freedom to choose. Yet do not place a dark mask upon someone based only on a feeling or suspicion. Truth must be recognized through patterns of behavior, through time, and through the consistency between words and actions. Someone who genuinely cares for you will not demand that you abandon every other relationship, control your decisions, or continually make you feel indebted to them. They may make mistakes, but when corrected, they know how to listen, accept responsibility, and change. A manipulative person often reverses the story so that you become the one at fault, uses silence as punishment, or creates fear to keep you from leaving. When you recognize these signs, seek advice from someone wise, document what happens if necessary, and protect yourself through practical steps. I do not want you to believe that every delay in your life was caused by someone secretly obstructing you. Some opportunities arrived late because you needed more time to prepare. Some decisions did not become reality because the circumstances were not suitable. Other things did not happen because you were not yet clear, proactive, or ready to release old habits. Yet it is also true that an unhealthy relationship can distract you, consume your time, and make you question your ability. When someone continually exhausts you, it becomes difficult to focus on work, finances, health, and important goals. Therefore, freedom from manipulation does not mean waiting for me to do everything on your behalf. It means allowing truth to awaken you, then actively reclaiming your right to choose. Review your commitments, the money you have lent, the promises that have kept you trapped, and the relationships that require you continually to sacrifice what is essential. You can love someone while refusing to continue carrying their responsibilities. Your name may be mentioned in places you have never entered, but do not become preoccupied with what others are saying behind your back. What matters more is the reputation you are creating through the way you live. When you work honestly, keep your promises, treat people kindly, and consistently develop your abilities, the right people will gradually recognize that value. A colleague may mention you during a meeting. An acquaintance may recommend you for an opportunity, or someone may remember the dedication you once demonstrated. Such things happen naturally in life and are not necessarily evidence of a secret plan from heaven. Therefore, instead of dreaming that those who once looked down on you will become afraid or regretful, focus on becoming someone you can respect. The most beautiful elevation does not occur when others bow down, but when you stand firmly without needing to diminish anyone. When you mature, live peacefully, and remain kind, that becomes a stronger answer than any confrontation. I also know that your family may be carrying many stories that were never spoken. Secrets, pain, and shame may have passed from one generation to another through silence. Some endured violence but were afraid to speak. Some lived their entire lives in guilt, debt, or conflict without knowing how to seek help. You may be someone who helps bring light into those things, but not by exposing everything carelessly. Light comes when you choose honesty, break through pretense, and create an environment where people can express pain without being mocked. It comes when you refuse to repeat violence, learn healthy communication, and seek professional help when your family cannot solve everything alone. You are not chosen to become a savior, carrying everyone upon your shoulders. You are invited to become a mature person who knows how to love, listen, and courageously begin a new way of living. If someone who once entered your home caused you to feel uneasy, consider the matter calmly. You do not need to convince yourself that they brought a dark force with them. Examine what specifically made you uncomfortable. Did they ask too deeply about money, work, or private matters? Did they say divisive things, disrespect your living space, or attempt to influence your decisions? A sense of caution may sometimes signal that you should observe more carefully. But a feeling is not evidence with which to condemn someone. Adjust the level of contact, keep sensitive information private, and invite into your personal space only those you truly trust. Your home should be a place of respect, safety, and rest. You have the right to preserve that through practical principles, locking doors, protecting possessions, stating boundaries clearly, and speaking with family members. When a problem arises, I want you to stop living with the desire that one day those who hurt you will dream of your success and tremble. Your success does not need their fear in order to possess meaning. Let your progress be built upon joy rather than the desire to prove something. Perhaps they will eventually recognize that they misjudged you, or perhaps they never will. But you must not give your peace over to another person's regret. What I desire is for you to enter the future without needing their apology in order to feel free. Forgive when you are ready, but forgiveness does not require you to restore the former closeness. You can wish them a better life while keeping your distance. You can release resentment without forgetting the lesson. That freedom is the real reversal. The person who once manipulated you no longer controls your mood or decisions. You may soon receive a message, document, phone call, or explanation that clarifies something that has confused you. But I do not want you to wait for a letter of destiny, as though your entire future depended upon it. A contract needs to be read carefully. An invitation needs to be evaluated according to benefits, responsibilities, and risks. A confession needs to be heard, but still compared with actions. If an important document appears, seek professional advice before signing. If someone apologizes, give them time to demonstrate change. If an opportunity comes, consider whether it suits your values, abilities, and circumstances. Good news may arrive, but wisdom will keep you from being swept away by emotion. True power does not lie in possessing a letter, but in understanding clearly what you are agreeing to and knowing when to say no. The breakthrough I desire for you does not necessarily have to be a great event that astonishes everyone. It may be the day you refuse for the first time to respond to a manipulative message. It may be when you begin managing money seriously, actively apply for a suitable opportunity, or seek help to resolve family pain. It may be the moment you stop explaining yourself to someone determined to misunderstand you and give your energy to those who appreciate sincerity. Every such decision opens a new path. You are no longer someone standing still while waiting for others to change. You become someone who accepts responsibility for your life, protects what is precious, and no longer treats endurance as proof of love. My beloved child, allow the truth to emerge without turning your heart into a battlefield. Do not search for enemies in every face, but neither should you deny what you have repeatedly observed. Courageously release relationships that exist only through fear, false obligation, or guilt. Forgive those who exploited your kindness, not so that they can do it again, but so that you can move forward freely. Forgive yourself for remaining silent too long, trusting the wrong person, or not knowing how to protect yourself. The person you were yesterday did the best they could with the understanding they possessed. The person you are today is being invited to live with greater wisdom. Now breathe more slowly. You do not need to count every second, fear losing my presence, or act in panic. I do not leave you when you need time to think. Begin with one clear action. Organize your living space. Speak with someone trustworthy. Examine a relationship, read a document carefully, or establish a boundary you have postponed. Give thanks for the lessons that helped you understand the value of peace. Preserve the belief that your future can become better. Not because every difficulty will disappear by itself, but because you are becoming more discerning, courageous, and mature. I will continue to guide you through love, while you walk with sincerity, gratitude, and a daily determination to become someone kind without being weak, compassionate without being easily controlled, peaceful yet always ready to protect what is right. My beloved child, when you are drawing close to a good change, what most easily makes you hesitate is not always a great event, but often weariness, distraction, and voices that cause you to doubt yourself. Perhaps you have traveled a long way, worked to change many things, and begun to see a new direction. But at that very moment, old habits begin pulling you backward. You find it harder to concentrate, become discouraged more easily, or suddenly wonder whether all your effort is truly worthwhile. I want you to understand that this does not mean a frightening force is preparing to defeat you. Sometimes it is simply a natural response when you are about to leave what is familiar. The part of you that has lived in fear for a long time may resist change, because even something unhealthy but familiar can feel safer than an unknown future. Therefore, do not panic when you feel unstable. Recognize it, breathe slowly, and remember that you do not need to return to the old path merely because you are tired. Archangel Michael, my faithful messenger, protector, and executor of my goodwill, is sent as a reminder of courage during seasons such as this. Michael does not warn you through threats that heaven will turn away if you slow down. He reminds you to protect your concentration, preserve good values, and refuse to let temporary emotions determine your entire future. Courage does not mean that you must always appear strong or never feel confused. Courage is knowing that you are tired and choosing to rest instead of quitting, knowing that you are afraid and still taking one small, righteous step, recognizing that a relationship is exhausting you and becoming steady enough to reset the boundaries. Michael stands as a symbol of protection, but you are also invited to participate in that protection through your own wise decisions. I do not want you to believe that if you turn away during one weak moment, you will receive prolonged silence from me. My love does not operate as punishment for the weary. There are moments when you may not feel my nearness, but that feeling does not mean I have left. When your mind is covered by anxiety, the voice of peace often becomes more difficult to hear. When you lack sleep, experience stress, or carry too much pressure, even what once brought hope may seem distant. During such seasons, do not conclude that you have lost your connection with what is sacred. Return to the basics. Rest, eat sufficiently, step outside to breathe, speak with someone trustworthy, and spend time in quietness. I may meet you in prayer, but I can also support you through a warm meal, sufficient sleep, timely advice, or the presence of someone who knows how to listen. Silence is sometimes not absence, but the space you need in order to hear yourself again. You have become accustomed to seeking immediate answers, wanting everything confirmed, and demanding that the future become clear before you dare to move. But there are seasons when I do not give you the entire map. I place before you only enough light for the next step. When you do not know what to do next month, do what is right today. When you cannot see a great door, care for the small responsibility before you. When you have not received an answer about a relationship, observe actions, speak honestly, and preserve your dignity. Growth does not come from always receiving signs, but from learning to live rightly, even when the outcome remains unknown. The greatest pressure may come from comparison. You see others moving more quickly, receiving more opportunities, or attaining what you still desire. Then you begin to believe that you have been left behind. But my beloved child, every journey has its own rhythm. Another person arriving first does not mean your portion has been taken away. Another person's door opening does not prove that yours will remain closed forever. Stop viewing life as a race in which only a few people are permitted to win. I want you to grow not so that you can surpass others, but so that you can become wise, kind, and capable of using well whatever is entrusted to you. Some things arrive later, but remain longer because the person receiving them has matured enough to preserve them. Regarding finances, I know that you long for support that will ease your burden. Someone may introduce you to an opportunity, offer advice, propose cooperation, or support you during a time of need. But do not assume that one particular person has been appointed with certainty to bring money into your life. No one owes you a miracle, and you should not place your entire hope in a benefactor who has not appeared. Sincere help may come through other people, but you will still need discernment to recognize it, humility to receive it, and responsibility to use it properly. If someone supports you, be grateful without allowing gratitude to become dependency. If they propose a contract or investment, read it carefully and seek professional advice. If they offer you employment, prepare your ability so that you can be worthy of their trust. Financial blessing is not only unexpected money appearing, it may also be the ability to recognize an unnecessary expense, the perseverance to learn a new skill, a decision that helps you avoid risk, or someone who teaches you how to manage money more wisely. Sometimes what rescues you from difficulty is not a large amount of money, but one small habit changed at the right time. Begin recording your income and expenses. Distinguish what you truly need from what you want, merely to soothe emotions. Repay debts gradually, according to your ability, and do not feel ashamed about starting with a small amount. I do not measure your growth by how much money you possess, but by how you use what is already in your hands. A person who has much but is controlled by greed still lives in inner poverty. A person who has little but knows how to manage, share, and preserve peace is building a lasting foundation. If a financial opportunity comes, remember that what is good will not require you to betray your values. Do not allow desperation to escape difficulty to make you accept promises of quick wealth, unclear plans, or a relationship that costs you your freedom. Wisdom is part of protection. Michael reminds you to stand firmly before invitations that appear too glamorous, but I remain the one teaching you directly. That faith does not replace verifying the truth. Ask questions, investigate the risks, consider your capacity, and decide only when your mind is calm. A slow but steady step is better than a leap driven by desperation. I also want to speak to you about your living space. Perhaps your home contains too many objects, memories, or tensions that make it difficult for you to rest. What people call negative energy can often be understood in very practical ways. Clutter makes you tired. Unresolved arguments make the atmosphere heavy. Someone continually crosses boundaries so that you no longer feel safe, or objects connected with a painful season prevent you from moving forward. You do not need to fear that your home has been taken over by a mysterious power. You can begin changing its atmosphere through simple but meaningful actions. Open the windows and allow light and fresh air to enter. Remove what is no longer needed, repair a neglected corner, and create a small place where you can rest quietly. Speak with those who live with you about shared principles of respect. If someone repeatedly brings conflict, you have the right to limit their presence. If your home no longer suits your needs or safety, begin planning a change, but do not decide hastily because of emotion. Consider finances, employment, distance, and related responsibilities. Moving to a new home may become a new beginning, but peace is not found only in an address. You must also carry healthy habits, new ways of communicating, and the clarity you have learned. There are times when you believe that moving somewhere else will make every heaviness disappear. But if you continue carrying resentment, fear, and unclear boundaries, similar difficulties may return in a different form. Therefore, before changing the home, allow me to help you change the way you live within it. Learn to speak more gratitude than criticism. Apologize when you hurt those close to you. Stop using silence as punishment. And do not turn a place of rest into a battlefield of bitter words. A home becomes lighter, not only because it is clean, but because the people within it know how to respect, listen, and give one another an opportunity to change. I also do not want you to believe. This is your final opportunity to hear a message like this, as though my door will close if you do not change immediately. I do not use love to pressure you. You may need to hear a lesson several times before you are ready to live it. There are things you understand intellectually today, but require time before your heart can fully embody them. I am patient with that process. Yet patience does not mean that you should continue postponing everything. When you have recognized something that needs to change, begin with the smallest possible step. Do not wait for perfection before acting. If your home needs organizing, begin with one drawer. If your finances need control, review 1 week of expenses. If you need to establish a boundary, prepare one clear sentence. If you need new employment, update one section of your resume. Every small step is a response to the truth you have recognized. Perhaps distraction is pulling you away from your goals through very ordinary things. Spending hours looking at other people's lives, searching for approval online, or becoming absorbed in conversations that lead nowhere. You do not need to remove every form of enjoyment, but learn how to protect your time. Ask whether what you are doing truly helps you rest or merely numbs you briefly and leaves you more exhausted afterward. A mind pulled by too many noises finds it difficult to recognize what matters. Create periods of quiet, not to wait for a mysterious voice, but to examine what you are prioritizing. Your life is built from small hours that you often consider insignificant. When you feel pressured, do not try to solve everything at once. Write down the 3 most important tasks. Ask what lies within your ability and what must be entrusted to time. Do not carry responsibility on behalf of others. Do not allow family, friends, or a relationship to use your kindness as an unlimited resource. You can help without exhausting yourself. You can love without agreeing to every request. You can stand beside someone without becoming responsible for every emotion they experience. When you stop carrying what does not belong to you, you will have greater strength to care for your genuine responsibilities. Your breakthrough may not appear as a golden door opening before you. It may begin on the day you stop fearing the numbers in your bank account and start making a plan. It may be the day you tell someone clearly that they are no longer permitted to disrespect you. It may be the morning You wake in an organized room and feel that you can begin again. It may be the moment you accept a small opportunity instead of waiting for something perfect. These moments are not loud, but they change your direction. I do not need the world to see your transformation immediately. I only desire that you remain faithful to the good being built each day. My beloved child, forgive the times when you allowed distraction to take away your time. Forgive yourself for procrastinating, spending money carelessly, or allowing someone to enter too deeply into your life without boundaries. Regret is useful only when it leads to a new choice. Do not use old mistakes as proof that you cannot change. The person you are today possesses more understanding than the person you were before. Use that understanding humbly. If you hurt someone, apologize. If you made an unwise financial decision, repair it one part at a time. If your home has become a place of tension, be the first person to change the way you speak and listen. Now rise with calm strength. You do not need to fight an invisible enemy. You need to stop feeding what has been weakening you. Release the habit of comparison, dependency upon approval, and the fear that you are too late. Turn away from unclear invitations, relationships that only take, and thoughts that continually tell you that you are incapable. Receive help when it comes, while still accepting responsibility for your own path. Open your heart to opportunity, but test everything through truth. Renew your living space, but also renew the way you treat yourself and the people around you. After all of this, return to peace. No clock is counting down in order to take my love from you. No silence is powerful enough to erase my presence from your life. You can still pause, think, and choose again. Be grateful that you recognized what needed to change before too much more time passed. Give thanks for those who helped you, the lessons that helped you mature, and even the difficult days that taught you to value stability. Tomorrow does not need to be perfect. It only needs to become slightly better because of today's choices. I am with you when you organize a room, create a plan, speak one honest sentence, and walk away from what is unhealthy. Live kindly, manage wisely, love with boundaries, and preserve hope. Those ordinary steps will lead you toward a life that is steadier, freer,